He said, yeah, it looks like about an 82.
That's what the boat is. I couldn't. Yeah, it's pretty clean. It was sat in a barn for years and years.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, looks pretty good. Alright, so in today's video we're going to be uninstalling carbs on what looks to be a 1982 50 horsepower with the bottom bowls. Each bowl has a filter per carb, and the fuel line comes in here and splits, and then it filters the fuel and then goes into the carburetor. So we're going to go ahead and pull those out, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I can always edit. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is take off the front shroud here. And some of the models, the shrouds actually connect. This one, they're actually separated completely, which may make this job just a little bit easier. We got a size 11 metric here and a size 13 here. So all we got to do is just loosen them up and gently take off the front. Okay, so now we got the bolts out, as you can see, here on the top and the bottom, and now it looks like the choke mechanism is what's holding it. So we're going to pull down the plunger to separate the choke very carefully, because it's plastic. Try not to break it. And then we just have to unscrew this right here to separate the choke completely from the cowling, because it is attached to the manual choke right here. So we'll go ahead and get that done. Okay, so the plunger is completely disconnected, the manual choke is disconnected. Now the only thing else connecting it is the activator wire for the solenoid. Right, zoom in, right there. So I'm just gonna unscrew that, and this front plate should pop right off. Alright, so the next thing we're gonna do is disconnect the main fuel line in, leaving these two fuel lines here that connect both the carburetors. I was trying to get this the choke plate connector out. It's plastic. It does twist out, but it's not twisting plastic in these older Mercuries makes me nervous. So we're just going to disconnect the fuel lines right here, the main end, and then we're going to take off the bolts on both the carburetors right here, and then gently pull those carburetors off. Alright, so the fuel line is disconnected. Took a little more effort than I would like to admit, but if you look at the inside, the inner lining is starting to separate from the main fuel line, so we're probably going to end up replacing that anyway. But so now the fuel line is replaced. We just got to get the carbs out. Again, it's just 4 bolts right here, and right there, and then on the opposing sides. So I'm going to get to that. Okay, so I got these 2 bolts loosened here. Now I'm looking at the other bolts on the other side. I really don't see a way to get them off without pulling out the starter and perhaps the internal harness and this whole thing, which I was trying to avoid, but we're going to do it anyway. Alright, so we have the starter pulled out, okay, and the top bolt came off great. Now we're looking at this bottom bolt down here, which seems to be hidden. So what I'm going to do is take off this fuel filter here, so I have better access to angle turn that screw down there, right there. Okay, so we just took the whole harness strap, pulled it out, pulled the filter down, which gave us just enough clearance to turn this bolt and loosen it, which is probably going to drop, which is fine. And once we get the oh, there it goes. Once we get the cards out, and then we can go back and grab it. There you go. Yep. Alright, now the carbs should be able to come out freely. try to keep this and this the same distance apart. You don't want to break any plastic. I guess I should have loosened the other screws first. That would have made a little too much sense though. Okay, that's not going to drop until we get. Oh, shoot. There we go. Okay. That. Alright, so we got 2 bolts that are going to drop. 1, 2. Gently. Alright, and there's the heart of the operation. We're going to gently set right here. Okay. You can kind of zoom in and look at the engine. Yeah, looks like it's pretty clean. Alright, well, let's get these 2 bolts that dropped. Alright, so now we have the carbs removed, starter out. Whole thing is naked. We're going to stuff some towels into the port intake manifold, that way nothing gets in there. And then these bad boys are going in for a rebuild, which I will document as well. Okay, and that's it for now on this 1982 4-cylinder. And once we get it back together, we're going to make it talk. And that's it. We're out.